I'm on my way to meet Sabrina, who lives in Rochdale. She's 35 and has suffered with selective mutism all her life.
Hi, Sabrina.
She depends on her mum and technology gadgets to communicate.
Tell me how you feel when your SM kicks in. Is that how you feel now? Talk to me about what it was like having SM as a child. Have you felt trapped your whole life? When you think about your life with SM and the challenges you've had in terms of making friends and just living a normal life, how do you feel? The impression I get is that actually the SMs become harder to live with than easier. Is that the case? Why do you think it's harder now?
It's got a lot worse as she's got older, and the anxiety's kicked in as well. So it's very, very, very hard for her.
How does Sabrina behave when the SM kicks in?
She just goes very quiet and very withdrawn. She's known to have panic attacks if she's got into a situation people are talking to her and expecting her to answer, and because she doesn't answer, they think that she's very rude. I've had that said a few times, that she's ignorant because she's not responding when someone said hello or what have you. But when her anxiety is really bad, she gets to the stage where she can't even talk to me. I recall one situation a couple of years ago. She was very upset about something and she rang me on the telephone and she was crying, but she couldn't actually speak on the telephone to me, and we must have been on the phone for over an hour and she couldn't actually speak to me, and I had to get in my car and come up here and console her.
She was just crying for an hour?
Just crying for an hour on the phone. Can you imagine how that makes a parent feel?
How did you feel?
It's not nice. It's not nice. Very upsetting. Very upsetting. When to know that your own child can't speak to you, it's a horrible feeling.
How do you feel as a mum, knowing that, you've been around Sabrina her whole life, obviously? Do you feel that you could have done more?
Yeah, many a times I want to kick myself up the backside and say, why didn't you notice it? Why couldn't I have done more? But if I'd have known that it was selective mutism, I would have pushed to have more done. I would have gone to the appropriate services and got a help, but I didn't know. I'd never heard of it. Me and her dad thought it was just shyness, but as she's got older and we found out it is SM, it makes me feel as though I failed her as a mum, and her dad feels exactly the same, as though we failed her because we didn't spot the signs.
As I'm talking to you here, how do you feel right now?
what do you want to do when you finish college then?
Go to university.
Yeah.
And hopefully do television and radio production. So.
Okay.
Katie Smith has had selective mutism since she was 3 years old.
Yeah. I got bored one evening. I was just going through everything. I'm like, why did I like that?
Now, at 17, she is in her final year of college and taking significant steps to overcome her SM.
What's it like overcoming selective mutism and engaging with more people and becoming more confident?
Don't know, it's hard to explain.
Is it like, do you think more people have helped, or have you done it by yourself, or have you had like a lot of help from others, like your family and friends?
I think around the time when I met you, actually, in year 7, that was like making new friends, like meeting you and Toria and Shelby were like, that really helped.
Do you think it was more your friends that changed and that made you become more confident?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my family's kind of known me, have it for my whole life, so they were kind of, they wanted me to change, but obviously they weren't pressuring me or anything, but I think from knowing that, when you move up to school or college or something, you have to make new friends.
How did it feel like trying to talk to new people in secondary school, because that's where people are most judgmental about people, isn't it?
I tried to stay away from the people that were most judgmental, all the popular people. So it was good having you there because I could tell you weren't kind of judgy like them.
I was just that weird child.
Weird childs are the best.
Daniel Rowland is 6 years old and living with SM.
High five, come on. Yes.
It's a condition his mum also had when she was a child.
Daniel, do you ever find it hard to talk? Do you ever feel scared when you have to talk? Do you think one day you'll be able to talk all the time? Do you want to be able to talk all the time?
Right, come on then, let's cross the road. Let's go through here. When I picked Daniel up from school today, he was talking to me about his day and what he did and what he enjoys about school and things.
We learned how to make stuff, do stuff as fun.
Yeah? He can't talk to teachers and in groups of people he can't really talk, though he will talk to more children than I ever used to. When I was little, I could never speak to anybody. I don't know why. I didn't know why then, but I still don't know why. Whenever someone spoke to me, I wanted to speak, but I just couldn't. It just wouldn't work. It just didn't happen. And teachers didn't know. They thought I was shy, and then when I wouldn't speak, I used to get in trouble and sent out of class because I wouldn't give them an answer and things like that. It wasn't great. Daniel got off of the swing because a little girl from his class got onto the swing and he was worried about her hearing him talking. I knew Daniel was like me when he was a baby. He used to be chatting away in the buggy to me, and somebody he didn't know would come over and say, "Oh, hello," to the baby, and he would just, his face would go like it was set in stone, and he would look down and he wouldn't make eye contact, and no matter if they tickled him or tried to make him laugh, he would just keep that set expression the whole time. You okay?
Yeah.
You having fun? I can understand him more than anyone else can, and he also knows that I was like him because I've told him before that you will be able to talk one day because Mummy didn't talk and now Mummy does.
Some people who don't understand what SM is may think he's doing it because he's being stubborn or he's doing it for attention. What would you say to those people?
If Daniel could talk, it would be the thing he would want to do most, is be normal. That's what he would like to be. He can't control it, and if he could, he wouldn't be doing this because he just wants to be like everybody else.
And other side.
Daniel's been going to dance for about a year now, and he loves to dance.
And turn in. Very good. And turn out on your knee.
When he first went, he was terrified. He didn't want to go in. He didn't want to do it at all. And when I picked him up after that first dance class, he had absolutely loved it and he had the best time. And now he dances in front of people, whereas before he wouldn't.
Anything you like, babes. Off you go. Very nice. Beautiful. Nella?
Well, when I first met Daniel, I sort of, there felt like there was a, when you sort of feel something for somebody, sort of straight away, and he's such a lovely boy. And his mum was, well, she came in and she was a bit worried, I think, about him not speaking and stuff like that. But, you know, he was fine, and because it's dance, the expression is through movement. I think from the first moment he came here, I think it was like a home for him. I think he sort of found a place where he can be himself and he can express himself. And I think I'm really, really pleased that he's found us.
Lovely.
In the beginning of Where the World Is, Max was really, really, really naughty.